Hello and welcome to Millwall Fan TV. This is your pre-match prediction for Millwall's home game on Saturday against Brentford at the Den. So before we get into it, please hit the like button and subscribe to Millwall Fan TV. Both are always massively appreciated. Before we start getting into the pre-match predictions, just going to cover about 40 seconds of the Millwall-Burnley game last night. Obviously, it was a night to forget for Troy Parrott coming off after just 45 minutes. You could see he was not 100%, and you could see he did get injured after about 10 minutes. Got a kick on the ankle, supposedly out for about 2 to 3 weeks. But actually, that isn't. I know it's not ideal, but it's not too bad. He'll miss Brentford and Swansea, big games, of course. But because of the international break after Swansea, he won't miss any more after that. So that's positive. But obviously not ideal. He's got injured again, so fingers crossed. He'll come back stronger after that. But overall, I thought we matched them pretty well. Obviously we were undone by a cracking strike from Josh Brownhill. What a really good strike that was. But other than that, I felt Millwall matched Burnley in a lot of departments. I felt like we just didn't have that cutting edge. So we just didn't have that final third. Enough in the final third to beat him. But other than that, do you know what? I don't think there was too much wrong with the performance. Obviously, 2-0 looks worse than 1-0. And let's focus on the league now. And with that, let's get straight into Millwall's game against Brentford. So first of all, let's talk about one to watch. And the one to watch for Brentford this week is Brian Mbeumo. In some great form, obviously part of the BMW last year. This year, however, he started well. Goal and assist, I think. Started well, as always. Good player. Right winger, and he's only young, but he's quality. Also, the other one to mention is Godos. They've just signed another winger. Doesn't sound like Ben Rama's going to face us this Saturday, which is always a positive. Mbeumo's the one to watch. He'll be the one to watch this Saturday. But before we get into anything more, let's talk about the Millwall lineup for Saturday's game. So here it is: in goal, Bartosz, Białkowski, Romeo, Hutchinson, Pearce, Cooper, Murray Wallace at the back. Not Murray Wallace, sorry, Scott Malone. Get used to saying that too much. Scott Malone. And then Ryan Woods and Ryan Leonard in the midfield. And then we will go with Jeb Wallace, Tom Bradshaw and Mason Bennett. Let's talk a bit about Murray Wallace actually. I think it was probably, obviously Scott Malone started well this year. But Murray Wallace was so good for us this last year that it's hard to forget how good he was, and that's why I said it automatically in there, just a weird one. I do think he maybe deserves to go in the centre-back position, but that will be one to come this season. As for anything, we'll need to, I think we need to really look to exploit Brentford. I think last night in the game, that's one thing I wanted to cover. I think we looked actually very, very good on the ball. I thought in the first half, especially, we were knocking the ball around very, very nicely. And when Ryan Woods came on, that only improved. So fingers crossed we can keep going with that on Saturday. That's the thing, you see. With Brentford, they'll be well structured. They'll be they'll know what to do. They've got a very good passing rhythm about them. They know what to do in certain situations. That they'll look to break us down in ways that involves just, knocking the ball around us, basically. But we need to counter that, really. And without further ado, let's get straight into a pre-match prediction. So here it is, my pre-match prediction for Saturday's game. We're not really scoring many goals at the minute, and I think that's set to continue, unfortunately. But I'm going to go for a 1-0 Millwall win. I think we're defensively solid. Obviously, we're missing a lot of players in the Burnley games. That's what I feel is positive. So we've got Cooper coming back, Malone, all them sort of players. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 Millwall win. And I'm going to go with Jeb Wallace to get another goal. So there it is, 1-0 to Millwall. Jeb Wallace to get the goal. Fingers crossed we can get all 3 points and carry on our excellent start to the season. Come on, you Lions.